The Lithuanians killed in the thousands of people in Kovne, in the little towns, especially in the little town called Slobodka or Viljampolis, where the ghetto was. It's all before the Germans came in.
With and without Nazi supervision, the various militias, especially the Lithuanian security police, known as the Saugumas, the Latvian Ares commandos, and the local citizens, neighbors of their victims, willingly took part in the roundups, atrocities, and mass murders.
Our non-Jewish neighbors used to point out who is a Jew and who is not a Jew. And all the Lithuanians knew exactly who is a Jew. They drove the Jews to Ponari and they shot them there.
November 28th, I remember this particular day, I was standing behind the barbed wire and watching these columns after columns being driven out of the ghetto.
We were all brought to Rumbuli Forest, where they were all killed. Latvian guards that did all this.
During the decade following the war, the United States took in more than 200,000 Jews, as well as 400,000 displaced persons from the war-ravaged European countries, especially those controlled by the Soviet Union. Hundreds of thousands were also taken in by Canada, Australia, Great Britain, and other European and South American nations. Many assumed new identities. There was no way of checking the backgrounds of these people. Thousands simply lied on their immigration forms that they were not complicit in war crimes, were admitted, and eventually became citizens of those countries.
OSI was set up in 1979 by order of the then Attorney General and given the assignment to identify, that is, track down, investigate, and take law enforcement action in court against participants in World War II Nazi crimes against humanity. For the first time in OSI's history, we have what one might call an inventory of Nazi criminals in this country, against whom we've won final orders of deportation, but who remain here because no country will accept them.
If somebody can get up from the mass graves, they would ask three questions. Question number one, they would ask, why didn't you move heaven and earth to stop us? You know, to stop us from being killed. Why didn't you stop the Nazis from doing what they did? You essentially did nothing. The second thing is, why didn't you go ahead and catch these killers? The third thing is, why didn't you at least find out where the bodies are buried so you can say, Kaddish? I am trying to do something about all three of those issues. I conceived the idea for Operation Last Chance and put up the money to make it happen. Operation Last Chance is literally the last chance in all of these countries where Jews were killed.
More than 200 mass graves can be found throughout Lithuania and more than 100 in Latvia. With every passing day, war criminals are dying without any accountability. The lack of investigations and the postponing of trials may lead one to conclude that these nations lack the political will and moral resolve to prosecute their own citizens.